Hey Aries, how's it going? Thank you so much for checking out my channel here at Reflexive Moon Tarot. My name is Sarah, and we are doing your reading for the full moon in December 2025, happening in Gemini. So let's see what the cards and this energy has to say for you. All right, so starting off with the 10 of Cups. Yes, please. Wish fulfillment, happiness, love, excitement, all of the wonderful things that make us feel whole and complete and full of joy. That is at the core of your concern. Now, crossing this wonderful concern you might be having is your mojo with the Ace of Wands. So that creative energy, that force that keeps you in your best bow chicka wow wow state. We have, it is a little bit kind of like you may have lost a little bit of mojo. That doesn't mean like, you're struggling with impotence or anything like that. It's more like an energetic impotence, if you catch my drift, where you're struggling to feel engaged, motivated, having dreams that you want to, just having new goals. It's not your forte right now. Setting goals is not your priority. And it could be that you're just like so happy, everything is so good, like complacency can be a part of this. And, it sort of leads to you having a bit of a blockage when it comes to whatever creative projects you may wish to begin at this time. And we have the 2 of Pentacles overlooking the situation. So struggling to find balance with your earth-like energy. If you don't have a good solid foundation to burn your fire, it's going to make it tricky. So how are you going to fix that? How are you going to get out there and get grounded? If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's winter right now, so that might be a little bit tricky if you don't like the cold. But there are ways to get grounded, to stay grounded, meditation, even going outside, making sure that you're getting enough vitamin D, and maybe also in the bow chicka wow wow way. But at the same time, also staying grounded, not overindulging, and knowing that you have what it takes to get what it is that you need done. Because the 2 of Pentacles, like any pentacle, is about health, it's about career, it's about finances. So if there's a lack of balance, the universe is telling you that you need to focus and get your money straight and get your career goals in order, in alignment, and also to know that you're awesome. There could be a lack of confidence that you are experiencing, or some type of insecurity with the Ace of Wands and 2 of Pentacles reverse. Now we have the Wheel of Fortune within your subconscious, Aries. It's like you're just kind of missing the mark. Something is not in alignment for you subconsciously. You're not paying attention. You are disengaged from your destiny on some level. So whatever's distracting you, whatever you're allowing to distract you, or whatever noise you got going on in your mind, you need to clear that up. In the past, you've kind of maybe missed an opportunity with regards to your legacy building activities. Generational wealth, this card represents sometimes. It's also just about like having a sustainable source of income, of health, and being active in a career that is also sustaining you and keeping you and all of your resources and needs met. We have the Page of Swords in your near future. Somebody's getting in the way of this. And this is, if this is you, like you're just kind of really getting caught up in too much drama. That's really what's happening. The Page of Swords is about learning and growth on that level, but there's something that you're just not learning, that you're just not getting, Aries. So what are you not paying attention to? Is it time for you to go to bed? Are you not sleeping well enough? Are you taking care of your mental health? Are you learning and accessing educational resources that will help you learn and grow in your career? Now, this could be an individual. This could be a young person in your life as well, this Page of Swords that you're going to encounter. This could be also a love interest that's getting in your way and who actually is trying to suck your energy or trying to block your good fortune because they can't see themselves as being worthy of the same. Now, moving forward in your attitude, we have the Page of Cups here. So you're happy, you're good, you're feeling the vibes, you're just trying to experience life and all that it has to offer, and, you know, just really feel good about how you look, how you emotionally process your surroundings. You're also maybe not committed emotionally. You may lack a little bit of intelligence on some level. You may be a little bit immature. You know, there's room for emotional growth with every page. But there's also so much wonder and such a big future of learning and growth when it comes to a page. So you can really see that in a positive light as opposed to being at a deficit. Okay. Now we have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords, it's about introspection. It's about taking an inventory of your gains and your losses, of what you have to offer, like in terms of assets, character assets, as opposed to, well, both character assets and defects. So how are you coming to terms with everything that you bring to the table? Sprinkle, sprinkle, right? What do you bring to the table, and where have you gone wrong so far up until this point? So it's not an easy task. You really do kind of have to take a bird's eye perspective. And if you're struggling to feel grounded, because we do have within the universe and your bird's eye view, the Two of Pentacles reversed, it sounds like you are either like not making enough money, you're making poor decisions with regards to your health, and there's like a bit of like a mini death that you need to go through in order to make the necessary changes. But thankfully that energy is influencing you in your surroundings, and maybe other people see that that's what you're doing. So if you can be as rigorous as possible in that process, you know, there's going to be some brutal and remarkable honesty that you're going to have to get with how you look at yourself. And you really are going to see it might not look good. You know, the losses that you've experienced on account of your decisions that you've made in your life. It might be heavy. It might be heavy. We have the Four of Pentacles. I was feeling this vibe earlier with this page here. So I would say that you really need to focus your hopes and your fears on having healthy boundaries that are about, you know, not letting people use you and abuse you in any kind of way. Also, not holding on to too much, right? Because if you look like you're hoardy and you got something to lose, people are going to gravitate towards that and they're going to vamp off you. So just be chill, be cool. And I would say also, you know, in order to move forward and to sort of break the cycle of paycheck to paycheck life and, you know, just that lack mentality, you really need to let go of being cheap, being too, like being overly thrifty. Now, if you have to, like, always live within your means. I'm not saying you need to go spend a whole bunch of money. That's ridiculous. But just being smart about your money and being willing to take some risks. All right, so we have the World reversed. So with this, we'll go back to this. We'll go back to this Four of Swords. This energy that's influencing you right now, you really, really need to tap into it, because it's telling you, like, this is a prime energy, a prime time for you to get creative and really take an honest look at yourself. That Gemini energy that rules the card of the Lovers, which is all about choices, all about balancing the aspects of the self, right? You really need to take a look at whatever trauma you've been through and how that has impacted your life, and also how you need to change the way you process things in your life. Because it sounds like that's something that you haven't done, and that will lead to you taking the next step, getting this Two of Pentacles upright, you know, creating some more ideas for yourself, having new goals. Like, that should be your new goal. That will help you also move away from everything that you've lost in your recent past, or your past in general. It will help you level up and become have more empathy, as opposed to just, you know, maybe being in your feels for a minute and then like moving on and still letting your ego run the show. Okay. Because you know that you're really good at that. Your ego gets you by, and you know, it is wonderful at times, but there are some times where you kind of just need to realize you might be a bit much, or you might need to like just tone down that it's all about me. Or also, if you're dealing with the opposite end of that spectrum, like not letting people treat you like a doormat and knowing your worth on that level. Now, it looks like whatever projects you've got going on, you may not have begun with a very solid foundation. There's not going to be a whole lot of turnaround if there's something that you've been working on, or like things that you've done in the past may not have been a good idea. You may have invested in something that didn't give you the turnaround that you were looking for. And that's okay. It's not a huge loss. I would say that you're still A1 when it comes to showing up for yourself, showing up for others, being, I don't know, just being like the quintessential knight in shining armor. Like, if that's the vibe that you give off, like, you're there for people, and you need to know that you are the shit on account of that. And any kind of knight that is like true to themselves and true to others on that level is well on their way to being a general, and maybe already almost there, like high ranking knight, if you're going to get hierarchical about it. All right? A knight that's been through some shit and is just, you know, like the mojo may be at a minimum on some level, but the power of the hour is still top shelf. All right? So this fabulous Sagittarian energy to complement this Knight energy, it's telling you to remain consistent with not overdoing it. Remain consistent with not overdoing it, to keep your emotions in balance, to keep your fire and your heart warm so that you can keep those emotions in a good space, so that you can practice restraint, practice your, create and exercise and express your existential, view and experience in this world. I'm loving this. I really love the card Temperance. It's one of my favorite ones. Okay, and then we get the Lovers. So yeah, self-love. How are you working on that? How are you working on your trauma? How are you making good choices? And if you think that you are, but things are still chaotic around you, then, you know, maybe you need to like look at a little bit more honestly how you are coping with that. And maybe you need to take some time for yourself. And that's totally okay. It's totally okay. Just communicate that to everybody. And yeah, let's see. Let's see what else we got here. With the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So there are some fabulous people that you have in your life, and if these are aspects of yourself, then you may require some enticing on some level, but you are the king of your castle. You are the king of your castle, the king of your surroundings, and you actually are fire, and you light the way for others, helping them to actualize their own goals. So you may not feel like that right now, or you may have taken a step back from that right now, but I would say that, you know, this is a good mashup of things. Definitely a good mashup of things. So let's do some oracle, and then we'll close it off with an affirmation. All right, we have be the change you wish to see up in this bitch. That is the essence of the King of Wands right there, folks. Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one who sees what's wrong in the world and who knows that the difference between being an activist and being a whiny ass complainer is action. ACTION. You want the world to be more kind? Then kind the fuck out on the people in your life. Okay? Hate litter bugs? Pick up some trash. Can't stand judgmental blowhards? Quit judging them for being so judgmental. It really is kind of that simple. All right. And we'll close out with an affirmation. Oh, look, my favorite. Here we go. Okay. Temperance. I am the free flow of energy between conscious and unconscious, motivation and action. I blend opposing forces or viewpoints in the right combination. I blend opposing forces or viewpoints in the right combination to achieve a healthy equilibrium. I have learned that balance is the key to joy, inner serenity, and fulfilling relationships with self and others. I have experienced the power of cooperation, negotiation, and compromise in building harmonious relationships. I integrate past and present experience, creating powerful combinations of inner and outer talents and resources. I'm loving that for you, Aries. So listen to it a few times, even repeat it, do it up, and we will catch you next time. Take care, and bye now.